Hey, friends, welcome back. Once again, I am in Ocracoke, North Carolina, painting with four other guys. And let me turn you around. I'm not going to repeat everything I said in the last uh, episode. I am experimenting with the Cape Cod School of Underpainting, and I am essentially finished with the underpainting. This is an experiment, um, and I think I'm roughly, on point doing the system. I just have one complaint with it, with the way I'm doing it anyway, and that is that it's too circumscribed. It's too neat. It's too much in the lines. Uh, I'm not very happy about that. So I started doing this without you watching. I thought, oh, wait a minute, this might be pretty interesting. So, and that is, I'm going to just mess it up. Um, not completely willy nilly, but um, try to stay within the Cape Cod palette more or less, but just mess it up a little bit. Okay, so I find it interesting that I have very little blue. Okay, in the shade, blue is mid-tone. Are there no mid-tone shades over here? You say, yeah, there should be some down here. So this is kind of crazy. I know. I'm sort of trying to Dan Nelsonify. How about that? Nelsify this painting. It's just too neat, and so I know I'm corrupting some of the Cape Cod tenets by doing this, but right at the moment, if it's a combination of Dan Nelson and Cape Cod's winning, and there's not enough Dan Nelson. Okay, so I just did some transparent orange and some transparent blue. I don't need any more purple. Do I want any green? No. Moving on then to a few opaques. And maybe just opaque yellow, basically. So, for instance, like where that light is, where there's a lot of light, I just want more mess. So we'll see. I don't know if this may be the last Cape Cod-ish painting I ever do, or maybe, who knows, maybe I will stumble onto some grand new world. I'm liking that better. I am liking that better. It's rather arbitrary. It's not what my underpainting usually look like, of course. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now, forgive me for the little mechanics and boredom here, but I'm going to go ahead and pack up my acrylics while you watch, rather than start a new broadcast, rather than close this one out and start a new one. See, my Mevo camera died yesterday. I'm pretty aggravated about that. Just died. It won't turn on. It's all charged up and it will not turn on. Grr. Pretty expensive camera to go kaput quickly. So I'm going to pack up all my acrylics and get out my oils while you watch, so that I can keep the camera going, because if I stop it here, then it's the end of the broadcast, and you all get a notification. Too many notifications. Okay, so it won't take me long. The acrylics are put away. You dump out my water right here. Switch to a can of Gamsol for cleaning brushes. I admire those people that can do an entire oil painting without using any Gamsol or Turpenoid, cleaning their brushes. I admire them, but I can't do them yet. I tried. I can't quite do it. Okay, there's a bunch of brushes. And let me see, I need a little bit of refreshing of this palette. Need some purple. Bear with me for just a minute. Can you see my palette? No. Okay, well, let me make it a little bit more interesting anyway. Let you see my palette while I do this. I'm an fairly orderly kind of person, so I like my paints in the same place all the time. That's just me. You don't have to be like me. Some really fantastic artists are fantastically messy. That's perfectly fine. So, but if you're neat, I do mine in rainbow order, starting at purple, or color wheel order, starting at purple and going around to ultramarine, going right through the color spectrum, and then, hey, Ginger on the loose, and Snapperly. Sorry, my phone. Anyway, I was saying that I don't think I was recording. If a Cape Cod aficionado, a practitioner of Cape Cod painting, was watching me right now, they'd be having a fit. They'd be saying, "No, you're ruining it." And in a way, I am. But hang on, I'm not ruining it as bad. It's not gonna be ruined as bad as it looks at the moment, because I'm going to, here in a minute, I'm gonna pick up a rag and remove a lot of what I've just put on. So one of the questions we would certainly have to ask is, if you're thinking Cape Cod technique, is what I'm doing right now, is it overpainting or underpainting? Because if it's underpainting, I'm radically breaking the rules. If, however, it's overpainting, not so much. I'm not so much breaking the rules. And I'm mostly echoing the colors of the underpainting at this point, mostly. Okay, put those brushes down. I can clean those up later. Let's get a paper towel out now. And this is pretty standard for me, right? Put the stuff on, and then take it off. It's nothing fancy about that. Some beginners or students might say, "Well, if you're taking it off, why'd you put it on in the first place?" Yeah, blah blah blah. Because it's like staining furniture, finishing furniture. I'm not taking it all off. That would require some chemical help and a lot of elbow grease. No, I'm just taking some of it off. Okay, so there. Taking off quite a bit there, aren't I? Rub. Okay. And now the experimentation continues. If it were my technique, I would take a moment here, and I believe I will. I was going to say, I would take a moment here to push all of my darks. To make sure that I would take a moment here to make sure I have adequate darks. And so indeed, that is what I'm going to do. So now I am definitely, in a way, I guess I'm doing Cape Cod, but I am definitely in the overpainting stage and just darkening stuff. allowing the rather cheery, if you will, rather saccharine, rather sweet, allowing the rather sweet colored underpainting to peek around and through and between the strokes that I'm putting down right now. So for instance, at the moment I'm putting down very dark blue, purple, black, something, but being careful to allow the mostly purple stuff sparkle through these strokes. I want to make sure I've got adequate dark. I don't think Cape Cod is necessarily a truncated value. That is, you can go all the way dark and all the way light using Cape Cod. You know, even though some of the Cape Cod samples I've looked at online, they in fact do typically have a truncated, that is shortened. They don't go all the way dark. They tend to be a little bit pastel-ish. Fine for them. Fine for them if that's what they want to do. But I don't want to join them in that. I want a painting that runs the full gamut of values. So right at the moment, I am just focusing on darks. I have a little issue happening here. I've got sunlight coming through the back of my canvas. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can shift my easel around. Okay, yep, that. Now I need to move my camera, don't I? Forgive me while I move you guys. Whoa. Irregular ground. Hang on. Okay, good. Are we still there? Excellent. Okay. Again, darks first, lights last is the principle that I'm operating by pretty much at the moment. That is not Dan Nelson's, and that is standard painting procedure. Darks first, lights last. Any place that doesn't need, this extra little punch, extra darkness, then I don't need to touch it. It's fine. It's the way it is. Anything that needs perhaps a little outlining, like for instance the sun. And of course, painting like myself now, making sure that the lines are interesting, the marks that I'm making are interesting. Bit of shingles texture, a little bit, I hope. Again, I'm a little bit schizophrenic, painting schizophrenically. Is that a word? Schizophrenically, adverb. Painting in a schizophrenic manner. Um, because in the last several weeks, I've been very, in the last several days, intent on painting in a looser, less finished manner. And I feel like this Cape Cod experiment is kind of nudging me back toward more finished. And so I'm very iffy about that. Very not sure how I like that idea. So I don't want to go back toward more finished. So we'll see. We will just see. We'll all find out together. A few little details here. So, I feel like if I was more intelligent, I could figure out some way to do this Cape Cod experiment without necessarily going toward tightness. I don't think it's necessary. It's just that my mind is so distracted by trying to paint in a new way that I'm accidentally slipping into a tightness. Doesn't need to be happening, but I can feel it happening even as I say that. Okay, a bunch of the other thing I don't understand yet about Cape Cod, and if you're just joining me, forgive me, you're going to have to go back and watch the last couple of broadcasts that I've done to figure out what Cape Cod is. The thing that I don't understand about it is in the underpainting, you do less detail. I think the answer is yes. I think generally you leave the underpainting more clunky, chunky in Cape Cod than you do normal. But like right now I'm painting shadows on the deck here. Though I didn't do any of that. It's not intentional. I didn't do any shadows. I don't know if that's a mistake or that's correct. Anyway, as I said, we'll all find out together. If you continue to follow me, we will all find out together. Likewise, there's just all kinds of stuff, furniture, stools, bench, bric-a-brac. I don't know what that is. So looking at my canvas the way it is right now, that glaze on it, and with the mess, and then the glaze, and how God's judging by what I've seen of other people's Cape Cod paintings, mine is not quite as intense color, not quite as crazy, but it's still pretty crazy, isn't it? There's a lot of, pink, purple, green, orange, and yellow. those are the right colors. Not a lot of blue, but kind of anyway. So I'm a little bit messier than the Cape Codders I've seen, I think. And I don't know if that, if that's enough to get me kicked out of the Cape Cod Club, which frankly, between you and me, I'm not going to try to get in. I'm just trying to take some of the tenets, the basic mindset of Cape Cod and combine it. I do not want to become a Cape Cod painter. That's not enough. I like the way I paint too much. I really do. Well, I say that because stranger things have happened, sure, but let me just say it's very unlikely that I'm very So the basic, what would happen is I would become a more colorful painter, basically, in a word. It's simple. More color. I like that idea. I do. So we'll just, like I said, keep saying, we'll find out. We'll find out together. Whether this is just an experiment, flash in the pan. I'm doing it largely because my friend Mike Rooney is painting with me this week, and he paints Cape Cod. And I like his stuff, so I decided to take advantage of his presence and ask him a lot of questions. Some of the questions I've mentioned in the last few minutes, I will ask him when I get back to the house in a couple hours. Hey, is that enough dark? I sort of think it is. Okay, dark layer is done. Now, if I'm painting like myself, now, not like Cape Cod, but like myself, the next layer would be the fuzz layer. You know what? I think I can do it. I don't think there's anything in Cape Cod that mitigates against or turns me away from painting the fuzz layer. So, okay, Yahoo, no problem. Let's get right to it. I'm assuming if you're one of my if you are one of my regulars, you know what the fuzz layer is. If you're a newbie, welcome to my channel. Thank you. Hope you'll subscribe, hit like, and tell your friends about it. I'm operating today without my Mevo camera, which is a big disappointment. It died yesterday for no understandable, discernible reason. Okay, just put titanium white on. Okay, so the fuzz layer is just like it sounds. Fuzzy, soft edges, very, 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 very soft edges. Translucent. I don't know which one is more important. Translucent or soft edges. Both. Soft edge, translucent, and local color. That's right. The trash is over here. Let me fix this real quick because I'm going to keep reaching around and around. I always put my trash in the same place. I try to be very much a creature of habit for my plein air painting. Okay, it's obvious to me. I'm going to start with the lightest areas, which is, I'm sorry, I haven't shown you my second one. Right over there. There you go. Got it? That's what I'm sorry about that. I should show you earlier questions. Okay, you're seeing most of the canvas. Okay, fuzz layer, local color, that's artist language for real color, realistic color. And very soft edges. So I'm mixing up very light warm white. White, titanium white with just a tiny bit of, I'm afraid that brush has got too much paint on it, with a tiny bit of Naples yellow, which is Naples yellow, if you're not familiar with that, is like a light, a paler version of yellow ochre. Okay, here we go. Boy, it's picking up a lot of dirty stuff. I hope that's all right. That is a mess. Do I hear an amen, anybody? Okay, likewise, clouds up here. That's too white. Let me warm that up with a little bit more Naples yellow. Yeah. In fact, do I like it bad enough? Do I dislike it enough to wipe it off? And I almost do. If I had one more chip brush, I left a bunch. Here we do. This will do. I'll use a. Yeah, okay, that's all right. That'll work. Okay, now slightly warmer white. And all these white signs, these signs that are bathed in sunlight, right? If I want them to look, here's the principle, one of the main ideas behind the fuzz layer. If I want it to look like the sun is just really blasting off this white parts of this scene, then I do what I've just done, which is soft, 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 soft glow. I could call this the glow layer. And I still have to steel myself inwardly because it looks so much like I've just ruined this painting. It does look like that. And I have to say, all right, I think this is going to work. I promise. I think this, I say to myself, I think it's going to work. I've done this before. It came out all right. Oh, man. That's just about all. A little bit back here. That's warming up a little bit more. And do some of the dock over here. All right, now let's do some color correcting. My technique now. I don't know what the Cape Cod people would do, but I have a feeling that, I don't know, they do a lot of, it seems like opaque stuff to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so I've got a problem again with sun on the back of my canvas. Forgive me, I need to take a minute, and I cannot paint with, you can't paint with light coming through the back of your canvas. And it's not getting any better. Okay, time up while I stand on top of my box. Now the problem here is, now I've got sun shade on my canvas, but am I going to be standing in the sun? That's a bad deal too. Welcome to plein air painting, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, nope, I'm good. Yahoo. Okay, I do not like that color I just mixed up. Get rid of that. That brush is too big. That brush is too small. Okay, mixing up now ultramarine cooler blue, the one I had just a few minutes ago. Okay, now I'm looking literally, I'm is that as though that's something unusual? I'm literally looking, not figuratively, literally looking at this shaded side of this house, barn, shed, dock house, there we go. Okay, and rather than painting it like with fairly thick slabs of opaque pale blue, I'm just scumbling it in real lightly. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I do not know if I'm the same thing here. So according to Cape Cod, if this is a white sign, white building, that is, it's painted white and it's in the shade, then it's got a bluish cast to it. You with me so far? Therefore, I won't give you the whole formula, but therefore, the underpainting is a pale purple. So that's why these are purple, because they're all going to be very pale blue, which I'm doing right now. And as you can see, I'm going way outside the lines. Soft edge, did anybody say soft edge yet? Okay, soft edge. This is my way of painting now. This is not Cape Cod. I'm using Cape Cod color, but I'm using my approach. So I don't know if this is going to be a train wreck or a gold mine. Nobody knows. Here's one more. Oh. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Right now, this is, it looks like I've done so much work on this canvas, and it doesn't look like it. Like at the moment, the work was not worth it. At the moment, it doesn't. Maybe I'm covering up too much. No. You're seeing a lot of purple through this haze, purple haze. Too much paint on those brushes. As maybe you can discern from watching me do this fuzz layer, my brushes are actually quite dry, right? It's dry paint, no medium, straight out of the tube, but very thin. Not much paint on my brushes at all, right? Can you tell that? I think you can. I'm assuming you can tell that. Okay, and I have to tell myself now it's okay to use local color. It's okay to do things the color they really are. Okay, let's try to get something fixed here, and that is if I get the sky actually blue instead of this crazy red. I love the red, but it's not supposed to be a red. I do not like that color. Darn. Second time today I've done that. Mixed up a blue and it's got too much. Okay, sorry about that. I do not know how long I've been jabbering away, and you guys abandoned me. YouTube abandoned me. I don't know how long ago. It might have been 3 minutes, might have been 20 minutes. That's very distressing. That's the downside. I tell you, this live broadcasting is full of pitfalls. Okay, so I was saying, I was discovering. I said, now this might be the death of. Well, maybe it's the death of the fuzz layer, but for me, in Cape Cod painting, when you're finished with your underpainting, not one stitch of the canvas has local color on it, has realistic color. Does that make sense? Not 1 inch has local color. And I use my fuzz layer to rectify local color. That means, by definition, I'm doing what I see here. I am doing fuzz layer over the entire canvas. Normally, when I paint, only part of the canvas needs color rectification. It needs, much of the canvas is not. So this might be the death knell of my experiment with Cape Cod School. But then again, maybe I should just eliminate the fuzz layer. But no, it was the fuzz layer that was getting me away from, it was helping me paint better and paint looser. So I am loath, do you like that word? I am loath to abandon my fairly recently, in the last 2 years, my fairly recently discovered fuzz layer. I am loath to abandon it. That's funny. Okay, I'm going to clean these brushes. I'm going to do one more thing, and then I'm going to sit back and take stock for a minute and say, well, I don't know, folks. I don't know. So I'm going back to some very, very warm white to make sure, not very warm white, very pale warm white. I don't mean very warm, very, very slightly warm, almost white. Okay, I know what I'm going to do next, and it's something is not part of my normal routine, and that is I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to pick up a rag, I'm going to paint with a rag, and I'm going to diminish. I'm going to wipe off as much of this fuzz as I want, and I do want to wipe some off. This is too much, too much. I mean, I'm soft all right, but doggone it. Well, okay, let me think about that. I have here a clean enough rag. Let me just come in here and start. I'm making it even fuzzier now, right? That's all right, that's good. Taking off, just taking off some of what I just did, getting closer, letting a little bit more of the Cape Cod stuff show through, Cape Cod color scheme. Let's see if I like that any better. Maybe. Jury's out. Jury is way out. My goodness. Now, I will say that at the end of the fuzz layer, normally I'm always alarmed because the painting looks too fuzzy. Well, it looks way too fuzzy today. I don't normally, as I said, I'm not normally fuzzing the entire canvas. I did everything here except for the dark areas, and there's only a few of those peeking through. I'm trying to decide what to do next. I certainly have glow, that's for sure. I'm going to take another picture with my other camera, with my other phone. Take another picture of the subject matter, just in case I decide I like this lighting best. Okay. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about doing another layer of pencil, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So most of that I'm going to do without you guys watching. I'll let you watch me get started. The reason I'm doing pencil is partly, no, at this point it's not at all for the act of drawing. The thing is drawn. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not moving as far as I can see. I'm not moving anything around, not making any corrections. So the purpose of the pencil is just, you have to outline things. It's just to, because I like the way the pencil looks. I like the scratchiness. Can I use that word? Scratchy, scratchy? The scratchiness of the pencil in juxtaposition. I like that word. Next to, that means. Alongside of. I like the feel of the pencil scratchiness in combination with the paint. And now, let me, again, if you're new to me, this is new to you, then first of all, yes, it is very unconventional. Part of you should be saying, what? You're using pencil in an oil painting? Yes, and it's a Jerry's Artorama Jumbo Jet Black. That would be a proper response. If you're thinking that, you're correct. You are correct. No, very unconventional. I've found several other people that do it, and I've influenced several other people to do it. But no, generally speaking, one does not use black pencils in oil painting. Just me one does, because I like it. Anyway, and then let me also add that at the end of this pencil stage, I'm going to do pencil over the, pretty much the entire painting. Well, maybe not toward the edges, not out toward the edges. But at the end of this stage, my painting will have way too much pencil in it. Okay, are you getting this? But not to worry. That doesn't bother me. That's okay. I don't care that it has too much pencil, because the painting ain't done yet. It ain't over till it's over. It's not done till it's done. And it's certainly not done at the end of the stage. So in the course of the last layer, which is final edit or light opaque highlights, in the course of doing the last layer, much of this pencil will get covered up. Okay, so it's not my job right now to try to discern whether I'm doing enough or too much pencil. I don't have to think about that. I just get to put lines wherever I want, wherever I think they'll look cool. And of course, yes, I'm being very outliney, almost like I don't know, it's very stylistic, very stylized. But most of this stylized pencil will be eliminated, or much of it will be, half maybe, or more than half. That would be most, wouldn't it? I already said that once, most. Anyway, a lot of it will be eliminated in the final stages. So and because you can't see a lot of what I'm doing, I'm not going to, well, I'm sorry, hang on. I forgot that I'm not broadcasting with my Mevo. So if I stop now and start again in about 25 minutes, everybody will get another notification. I have to weigh these things out. My Mevo camera died yesterday. That's why I'm in this conundrum. Yeah, but this is going to get way too boring. No, I can't just keep broadcasting. That would be just too boring, because I know I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing at all. And I know I can keep jabbering with scintillating cleverness, but that really puts a lot of pressure on me to keep being clever. I don't have that much cleverness up my sleeve. So I'm going to pause there. Okay. Be back in a little while with the next broadcast. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it.